Oh, this is not going to be worth it.
Yes, sir. Season 2 is here. After 90 days, 3 long months, Season 2 is finally upon us. Now, I know what you're thinking. Season 2's been out for a couple days, so where the fuck have you been, buddy? Well, to be honest, I don't know how these guys got out their videos like 20 minutes after the patch notes drop. Maybe it's because some of them got to play Season 2 early, and Embark didn't quite get me the invite. But I get it. I'm not mad at them. I curse a lot. It maybe has something to do with me mentioning butt plugs as part of the finals lore in my last video, but it's whatever. Maybe next season. I get it. Business decision. But before we get into anything, let's just take a moment to appreciate this main menu. Look at that, huh? That is beautiful. But the real meat and potatoes, first things first, let's get into it. Nukes, they're gone. Fucking finito, over with. They gutted the absolute piss out of Nukes, which just makes my heart happy. Really. Nukes, good riddance. But more on that later. So, what changed? TLDR, a lot. This entire season is brought to you by CNS. Who is CNS? Well, it's basically a hacker group. If you want more details, go check out my last video on the lore of the finals. But first, we finally have a new map to play on. System Horizon. This map is like a glitchy neon wave type map, and I personally love it. I think it plays well. The aesthetic is beautiful, and really I was just starving for a new map to play on because you can only play on the same 4 for so long, so I'm very grateful it's here. I've heard some people dog on it, but me personally, I'm all here for it. I'm a wee bit disappointed it's only one map, but at this point I'll take whatever I can get. Second, 3 new weapons were introduced to the game. The FAMAS, which went to the medium class, is a 3-round burst AR, and if you played Black Ops back in the day, this thing needs no introduction. It's pretty good, definitely the best out of the 3 that were added. It's super accurate, does decent damage, and it has a decent clip. I had a few decent games with it, but personally I still prefer the AKM, but it's definitely worth trying out. Not dog shit by any stretch of the imagination. Then we have the 93R burst pistol for the lights. It's basically a single Rafika from MW2. If you know, you know. And it's kind of fucking mid. In all honesty, it's pretty mid. It takes like 4 bursts to kill anybody up close, and it's pretty much bested in every single way by the BS9 in my opinion. It's lukewarm, really. It's fun for a game or two, but it's not anything game changing. I actually think midway through this game right here, I switched back to the BS9. There are better options for the light class, but still, it's new. Just give it a try, just for the gets and shiggles. Then lastly, we have the KS-23 slug shotgun for the heavy class, and I know what you're thinking. Oh great, another shotgun I have to worry about. Sick. Well, fear not, my friends, because this thing is a 2-pack ass. This thing fucking sucks. It needs help. It is so hard to hit your shots with it. Like, you gotta arc it. The travel sucks. It feels like you're firing a crossbow more than a shotgun. And it hits hard. It does a lot of damage, but if you can't hit anything with it, then what's the point,
The orange is on us now.
Oh no.
Yo, that shotgun fucking sucks.
Bro, the reload time on it's ridiculous.
Like everything else, give it a try. It's new. Maybe you're cracked with it, but for me personally, I'm going to be staying away from it for now. I'm personally expecting some tuning for these things in maybe like a week or two, so all my opinions here might be invalid anyway, but for now it is what it is. Along with the new weapons, a few gadgets were added to the game as well for each class. First, we have the gateway for the lights, which basically works like Wraith's portal from Apex Legends. So, you throw one half of the portal, then you throw the other, and then bing bada boom, you got a portal. I ran it a few games, and it's pretty nice. I can see the utility for it. I think it's really nice when you're running something like the cloak and you want some transportation in your build. The whole gang can travel through it, so you can throw the cash out box through it, so that's pretty neat. You can also set up a little trap by putting point A of the portal, off the map, and then put point B in a heavily guarded cash out room and watch people unalive themselves. That's pretty fun. My favorite use of it so far is to throw one side of the portal into the cash out room, then throw the other side around the corner, so that way I can pop in, give them a jump scare, pop out. Next up, we have the anti-gravity cube for the heavy, and it basically just reverses gravity for everything in its radius, including cash out stations. So I've really only seen it used in like a handful of times, but floating up into one and then like beaming down on people was pretty fun. I can see it causing some chaos around objectives. Good ad for the heavies. They didn't really have much mobility, so they got some verticality with this one. Then lastly, medium was given a data reshaper, which turns objects into other objects. But wait, there's more. If someone has the cash out room locked down tighter than a nun's asshole with gas mines and turrets, the data reshaper can straight up turn them into plants and other things. So, it's very useful. So if you're going to like steal a cash out, they got that room just guarded up, turrets everywhere. They got mines on it. You walk in with the data reshaper, hit a button, boom. Now all of a sudden you're in grandma's garden and the cash out's yours. Then additionally, the medium also got a new specialization. But wait, does that mean they have 4 and the other classes only have 3? That's not fair. Nope, my friend, recon senses have been removed from from the game entirely. Go ahead, take a victory shot. Wall hacks are gone. In fact, the devs left a little note in the patch notes that reads, Dev note, we concluded that recon senses have been detrimental to the game at large and have now decided to put it out of play for now. The specialization may return in some new form down the line, but only after a major rework. Yeah, no shit, Embark. Wall hacks aren't very good for your first-person shooter game, but I'm glad they took them out, so pat on the back there. Taking their place is the dematerializer, which lets you temporarily erase physical objects like walls and floors from the game, and you can close them at will as well. And this thing is pretty fucking sick, mate. I'm not gonna lie. Just walk up to a room the ops are posted up in, bang, erase their wall, beam them, close that shit right back up. Oh, you have a cash out on the floor above me? Not on my fucking watch. Mine now, boy. It has 3 charges, and each action, erasing and restoring, takes a charge. I love this thing because previously the mediums didn't really have a destruction perk to them, and now they do. Is it worth running over the healing beam? Probably not, but it's pretty fucking fun, mate. Really give it a try. I love this thing. They also moved around a few gadgets like the tracking dart and the recon grenades away from the mediums and gave them to the lights. Awesome, more team value. And they gave the motion sensor to the heavy, which I've never really seen the motion sensor make a difference in a match, but hopefully the heavy's gonna have fun with it, so that's whatever, you know. Let's see, what else? Oh yes, right, there's a new game mode, 5v5, called Power Shift, where you escort a platforms and the 2 teams fight over it. It's pretty fun when it's not a bunch of heavies and snipers. It's basically a glorified TDM, but it's pure chaos and it's really worth a try. I had a great time playing this game mode. Like, you hop on the platform, everybody's beaming down on you, people are trying to jump on your shit, you're dipping, you're dodging. I would definitely recommend it. They added a new tutorial for all the new players, and they added in the career circuit, which is really interesting because it lets you complete a new set of challenges for the week and then unlock free prizes as well as some sponsored gear. Like, look at these pretty yellow Auspuz gloves I got. Very nice. It gives us some, you know, form progression besides the battle pass, because that was a big complaint in season 1. A lot of people were saying that the battle pass was too short, season was too long, but I know a lot of those same people also bought the battle pass like premium, where they got 20 tiers, and then they complained that the battle pass didn't take them very long to complete. So I don't know, but it's really cool they added that. I really like that. And on the subject of battle passes, oh my gosh, like 100 times better than the season 1 battle pass. The season 2 battle pass is 100% worth the money. Would recommend copying. I mean, look at this Nintendo Game Boy head ass skin for the M11. Beautiful. We got this baddie outfit. We got chrome camos because just overall, I love it. And by the way, if you're buying the Battle Pass, don't fuck up the money like I did. Buy the Season 2 pack first, which gives you a rebate on all the coins you just spend, and then buy the Battle Pass. Don't be a dumbass like me and buy the pass only to realize you could have gotten the Season 2 pack for free along with the Battle Pass. Holy shit, this video is still going and we're only like halfway through the patch notes. Let's just bang one of these out and just power through the rest of the patch notes, yeah? Oh, this is not going to be worth it. I hope that looked cool. Oh, that was not worth it. Oh, there's Celsius like all over my fucking keyboard. I'd do it for you. Alright, let's fast money the rest of this bish. Ranked play got a rework allegedly. Now it should revolve more around your performance instead of playtime like it did in Season 1. Because in Season 1, your rank was more of a reflection of how much you played instead of actually how good you were. So hopefully the rework is a step in the right direction, but grain of salt though, we need a lot more like time with it to really see if they did anything substantial. We got private matches, which is pretty bare bones at the moment, and you need a minimum of 6 people to start one. Nukes have been absolutely gutted. They added diminishing returns on explosives, like the little cocktails people were making, the nukes. So let's say, for example, someone made a nuke and they put an explosive mine and a C4 onto one of the orange barrels. If, let's say, the C4 had the most explosive power out of that little cocktail, the C4 would only do 60% of its original damage. And then let's say the second highest explosive power thing in that nuke was the orange barrel, it would do 40% of its original damage. And then if the explosive mine was the least powerful of the 3, it would get a 30% damage modifier, which means it would only do 30% of its original intended damage. The red propane tanks now immediately wobble if something's attached to them. When you pick up objects that have explosives on them, i.e. nukes, they become unarmed and only start rearming once you throw them. So no more of this chunking and just hitting the old clicky immediately. Also, if you detonate an explosive before it's properly armed, it only does 20% of its original damage. So in the past, heavies would throw C4s on the floor, and before they were primed, before you could actually detonate them, they just shoot them with an RPG, and now if they do that and it's not armed yet, it'll only do 20% of its original damage. The devs also left a note in the patch notes here for us that says, nukes were a hot button issue in Season 1. The previous tuning made nukes exceed the intended time to kill by a large margin. Since our initial changes weren't substantial enough to alter this tactic, we've added more ways to balance nukes moving forward. Yeah, Embark, good job. Good job, Embark. But like, no shit, being able to insta delete a team with one button click was a hot button issue. Like you used to dead ass be able to throw a canister this far with explosives at full power and detonate them immediately. Like, it's crazy to me it took 3 months to shut this down, but you know, I'm happy they got to it eventually. I've played probably 30 games since the new season came out, and I have not been nuked one time, so safe to say they're in the ground. Let's see, they fucked with the gas a little bit, so there's a half-second delay before damage starts, and the damage will ramp up over time now from 30 a tick to 60 a tick. Also, this tick is every 0.3 seconds, up from 0.1 seconds. Don't worry, we're almost done. Now to the rest of the balance changes. The amount of C4 that can be carried by heavies is now 1 instead of 2, along with a cooldown buff and a minimum damage nerf. The defibs finally got hit, so now when you hit somebody with these things, they don't instantly pop up and can fight immediately. Now, when you defib someone, they get put into a 3-second animation, and then after that animation plays, then they can move and start fighting again. Also, you now come back with 50% of your health instead of the 40%. But don't be fooled, they still have invisibility frames, so just like watch out for that if you're camping somebody's animation. The dome shield got a nerf and now only lasts 12 seconds, down from 20. The jump pad got a cooldown nerf from 25 seconds to 30 seconds. The RPG got a bunch of handling nerfs, so it takes longer to pull out and longer to equip and unequip. The tracking dart got a handling buff, so it's much easier to hit people with, but honestly, if you can hit someone with a dart, in my opinion, you should have just fucking shot him, right? Like, if you had the time to line them up and get them into the scope with the dart, shouldn't you just shot a couple bullets? I don't know, that's just my opinion. The vanishing bomb now lasts longer on teammates, up to 7.5 seconds, up from 6 seconds that it was previously, and it now lasts 6 seconds instead of 5 on the respective user of said invisibility bomb. And as an avid invisibility bomb rat myself, I love that. And the mesh shield got a few tweaks. Home stretch now, boys. I promise we're almost through these patch notes. Weapon tuning. The AKM caught some damage and fall off nerfs, but don't worry, my fellow AKM brethren, it's not really that noticeable. Like, at range, it's gonna feel a wee bit weaker, but I didn't notice anything substantial. The FCAR, the golden child of the mediums, caught the same damage fall off modifier nerf at max range as the AKM. So sadly, the FCAR still beams, but at least has some competition now with the FAMAS. And heavies, sorry, the Lewis gun got a recoil nerf during sustained fire, but everyone is still running it, me included, so it's really not that bad. The M11, my boy, the Appa Stappa, got a hip fire buff, and the XP54 got a hip fire nerf. I feel like they did this to give each gun its own personality. I'm not mad at it, because before, the XP54 could compete with the M11 in terms of hip fire, and it also had a scope, so it was just overall kind of better. But now with the hip fire nerf for the XP54, it kind of gives each gun its own play style and own niche. The revolver got a range buff for its damage, so that's nice to see. I know a lot of people wanted to see that. And the throwing knives got a speed buff. I don't really use the throwing knives because I'm not Himothy, I suck with them, but you know, all you knife only demons can let me know if that's a difference you can see. And finally, the M60 caught a ton of buffs. Got a hipfire buff, a recoil buff, and it got one slight ADS recoil nerf while standing still. Oddly specific. And honestly, this gun has received nothing but buffs since the damn game came out, and it's still dog shit. Ain't nobody trying to run this thing. It just sucks. Like, look at this recoil pattern, bro. Ain't nobody got time for that. Lastly, they added a new progression level so that now there's 7 instead of 6, although the camo forward is not very good.
Brother, what's that, brother?
And they added auto sprint into the game. And by the way, did you know you can sprint backwards? Yeah, me neither. So there you have it, folks. Season 2, TLDR, all you really need to know. Let me know what you think about Season 2. Did it hit? Did it miss? Was it worth the hype? I think they did a really good job with everything. Good content, good balancing. The theme is great. The colors are awesome. And overall, it gets a GB Fresh stamp of approval. And check this shit out. For the first time ever, I saw an ad for the finals on TikTok of all places. So that's great. They're rolling out the ads. Oh, it has one comment. Let's see. Womp womp. Hey, fuck you, Seth. But anywho, guys, that's all I have for you today. Before you hop out of here, though, our economy fucking sucks, and there's not many things in this world that are free and good for you. So tap in, come fuck with me. You'll be happy to know we're up to like $20 in ad revenue now. So I promise the Lambo is coming soon. Love you guys. I'll catch you in the next one.